Hey everybody, it's Jennifer Rose at the Positive Identity Project, your digital grandmother. I love you and I want you to live a life less angsty than grandmother led. All my old lady wisdom is here for you for the taking. I want you to have it. So let's get started on the emotional roller coaster. There is something surprisingly hopeful, actually. It sounds awful. Who wants to be on an emotional roller coaster? But the truth is, there is some good news in there, and I want to unpack it for you. So let's consider for a moment the unfortunate scenario where you are not on the emotional roller coaster but under it, because that does happen. Sometimes you're stuck in the mud. You're down there being real clear about what you don't like and not having a lot of clarity about liking anything. You may be real clear that things in your life have seemed unfair and that you've been hurt. And you might have heard of forgiveness or that it might be a path forward, but you really don't have any idea where to start with that. What is that even? You might be feeling much more doubt than faith. You might be feeling more despair than hope. You might be feeling more darkness than light. And you might be feeling more sadness than joy. And if those dichotomies are not working out for you, you are not on the emotional roller coaster, you are under it. And why is there hope in those dichotomies? Did anybody recognize those from the St. Francis prayer? Well, that's a little bit hopeful because that means people have been struggling with those kinds of feelings for a long time. And here's where I'll say, if you're struggling and you need help, get help. Okay? Grandma's just talking about one little sliver here, and she wants you to get all the helps that there are. Get all of the helps. Okay. But back to this little idea about how long people have been feeling unbalanced. It is not just you. It is normal. And how do I say it's normal? Because it feels craptacular and nobody wants it. So how come it is average? There's a social psychologist named Roy Baumeister who studied this, and he coined the term negativity bias. And the negativity bias, he says, in his book, Bad is Stronger Than Good, the negativity bias tells us to value negative experiences more than positive ones, to weight them more heavily, and to pay more attention to them. And this comes from our evolution. It comes from survival. It comes from our ancestors who ran away from the rhinoceros, survived, and our ancestors who were like, maybe we could be friends. They died. So we don't have any of their, we have discovered, and now this is good for us laying under the roller coaster, that we're normal. That's the first good news. You are normal, and something in how you evolved is pushing you toward the dark side of the dichotomies. So what do we do with that? Well, first, let me convince you of it. Here's a little scenario. You're walking along and a robin is singing its heart out sweetly in a tree. Do you notice it? I don't know. Maybe not. Do you stop to listen to it? Even less likely. Do you settle into the feelings it evokes in you and enjoy them? Less likely still. And on the same walk, here comes a car full of rowdy teenagers who rev their engine next to you, roll down their windows, and shout, "Hey, you look like an idiot." How much attention, how much mental space does that get? It gets more weight. You spend more time with it. You give it more attention. It moves the needle on your feelings. And I don't have to run through the thinking of what your face looked like or whether you crossed the street wrong. You know how to do that. We all know how to do that. We do it all the time. It's like baked in. It's baked in. But let's look at this cost that we pay for that. Because suppose on this walk, you're on your way to a job interview. Now here, you are going to be sweating with a very pouty face or a very angry face when you get to your interview. It is going to cost you. And here is where that little robin could save your butt. It really could. Because if you can dial in those positive feelings, you can calm your nervous system down and project confidence and ease at a job interview. So it matters. Okay. So hopefully I've convinced you that the negativity bias is a thing, that being in the mud can be normal, and that you don't have to think ill of yourself if you're in the situation of being under the roller coaster, watching other people ride it. Okay. I don't know who's riding it, you know? So let's see if we could be the ones riding it, because then the emotional roller coaster is the way out of the mud, really. And I'm really here to say that's good news. So here, in addition to knowing about the negativity bias, is what you need to know. It comes from yoga. Yoga tells us that it is the nature of the mind to live in dichotomies. So we experience hot relative to cold, and we experience far relative to near, and we experience happy relative to sad. So if you are in the dark, the very structure of your mind is that there is light, but you're not paying attention to it. It has to be there because your mind can't perceive all that dark doo-doo unless it has light to compare it to. It's just built that way. Okay. So that's your assurance. Your assurance is the light is there, but I don't know how to see it. I don't know how to value it. I don't know how to pay attention to it. And now that you know that it's there, I think I'm going to say, you've got this. You can use the tools here. You can be signed up for this channel by subscribing, and you will get the next video with an even more hopeful insight that I can't wait to share with you. You can join my newsletter and get all the supports that I have. That's the best place to go. There are classes coming up, and every newsletter has some insight to help you. And there are tons of free resources on the Positive Identity Project website. You can get all of this in the comments. You can get it in the description. Your grandmother loves you. She wants good things for you. Go get them. Have a great day.